Okay, now we're recording.
So King's Day weekend just happened.
Yes, it did.
I was hosting all my friends, and then I bought a Dirk bread to go, and it turned out to be like 10 loaves of bread, like 10
Oh.
full sandwich sliced loaves of bread.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with all this? And it was super cheap. It was €2.50.
Mm.
And then halfway through the day, I was like, whoa, what if I make free cheese toasties and like walk around and hand them out on King's Day?
Oh, you
Uh,
didn't sell it?
no. And I was evaluating like how much it would cost me
Mm-hmm.
and all these things. And I was like trying to do the math of how much cheese I need and how much margarine, because I was just gonna get the cheapest stuff, right? And then I ended up making 70 sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And I used a block of cheese is 930 grams, so I had 2
Mm-hmm.
blocks. And then I used 2 tubs of margarine, which came to a kilo. And it cost like, well, minus the bread, it cost about, what, 16 euros or something? Maybe a little more. And I was like, this for my enjoyment is so worth it. For me, it was the equivalent of like buying a pair of jeans that
You
I
didn't
want
sell
and
them.
vintage. No, but it's just of what it cost me. It was like,
Yeah.
I buy things to entertain myself. I buy things that I like. To me, this was the same thing.
Why
So
didn't you sell them?
because the whole point was that I wanted it to be free.
Mm.
I remember my first King's Day. I was with a friend and we were absolutely stranded for food, like all the supermarkets. Granted, we were in a bad place. Like we're at the other end of Bondel Park by Light Supply, and every supermarket there was like jam packed, and none of the stands really had like actual food, and we were just starving. And we ended up getting like really cheap sandwiches from, it was like a euro sandwich or something from one of the stalls
Yeah, even like a euro, I'm so confused. I mean, it's very commendable the fact that you didn't you didn't want to sell the sandwiches that you made, but I'm still like, so why?
I just wanted the idea of it to be free, right? And also it was nothing fancy. It was, I just had a sign that said like gratis kaas toasty. But now looking back at it, I should have priced it at anything and then maybe just offered it for free when they actually wanted it,
A euro would have been.
because I think a lot of people were super distrusting that it was free.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people who came and took a sandwich were men.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people just straight up said that they didn't trust it. And then some people were picky, which is the craziest thing to me. Like I ran into this group of this group of Dutch guys that came to me, and uh, he was like, "Whoa, gratis, like amazing, whatever." And he's like, "Where'd you get the cheese from?" And I was like, "Dirk." And I didn't even specify the cheese. And he's like, "Oh, I'm good then." And I'm like, "What?" So yeah, I guess. And then I also didn't want to advertise the sandwich because I don't want to beg people to take my sandwich. I wanted people to like approach me. So yeah, that's one of the things I did.
Okay. Did you manage to give away all of them?
Most of them, yeah.
How many were left?
Mm, maybe like, well, okay. Well, my one friend, because I couldn't carry all of them, it was really heavy. So I gave a bag. Each bag had 10, and I gave a bag to a friend, and then he left that bag at home because he went home for a sec. So technically, I think around like 20, I guess, including that. But yeah, my
Interesting.
experience. And then I had to just ditch the rest because I had to carry my bike out of here, John. Anyways, today we're talking about...
Wait, no, I had such a good segue. First, I was gonna say that's crazy because one of Mutual had mentioned that they sold cans of beer for 250 each, and they made about 500 euros. And it's just so interesting seeing the difference between the way they were talking about it and how the focus was on like, oh, I made so much money, versus you're like, oh, I gave away so many free cheese toasties. Anyways, segue. Um, I think a lot of kids' first business was a lemonade stand. And so today we're talking
God.
about childhood. And maybe if you had a lemonade stand as a kid, this would have been a different story.
Did you?
No.
Me neither.
But a lot of kids have that though. That's
No.
your first like venture into business. Oh, I had a lemonade stand for a summer when I was 10 years old.
I feel like it's a very northern just
Yeah.
like America.
Mm-hmm.
But sure.
Or like selling stuff, like kids sell sweets at school. That I know happened to people around me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about childhood. Where do you want to start?
I feel, we've been alluding to this topic for a very long time now. I don't even know where to start. Well, today I play tennis, and it was basically the first time I've picked up a racket and played in, let's see, 6 years, 6, 7 years. And well, for the past 3 years, the main reason why I haven't played is just because I don't really know anyone who plays. It wasn't that like on the forefront of my mind for me to really find out and ask and all these things.
You
And
know people who play tennis.
I do, but when I've heard like what they do to play it, they were like, oh, they pay this much money for like this association, something. And at least in my first 2 years, I wasn't necessarily very interested in that because there's also just other things that I enjoyed doing. And then today playing, I realized I really, really miss the sport. But more than that, I missed like exercising this skill that I had, like having some of the muscle memory sort of come back because I've played since I played weekly since I was like 6 years old, maybe. And I never got very good, but the thing is because you play weekly for 10 or so years, you build some muscle memory, you learn something, you get into the rhythm of it. So that was very exciting. And yeah.
Did you find yourself like getting that competitive spirit?
Competitive? No. Wait, like now, today?
No, yeah, today.
No, not at all.
Oh.
Not at all. Tennis doesn't mean that to me. I don't, with these skills, the thing is like, I'm so far away from being at a level where I can be competitive, I suppose.
But you can be competitive with like people you play with. It doesn't have to be like at the level of other professional people. You can be competitive playing with your friend. Is what I meant.
I could, but all my friends had no experience basically. So.
Oh, so you're the best one there.
I didn't even enjoy being quote unquote the best one there.
Oh, it was
because
like
I
that.
couldn't play.
Oh, okay.
But it was fun nonetheless.
Well, what else did you do in your childhood that you haven't done now and now? Like, did that like kind of make you start thinking like, maybe I should start doing this again?
Well, of course. I think this topic came up for me because a few weeks ago I had a bit of a spiral with like, identity and all these things. It happens pretty much every other week now. But I realized in the recent years, I guess, I've just narrowed a path down like coding and some social science, so much so that I kind of forgot the things I really like doing. And it's to a point where I wouldn't even know how to incorporate it now. And I sort of have been putting off thinking more about that until after this podcast. So it was like it's a lot to do with just creative things.
Yeah.
And making art, playing, making music, all these things, and I don't know how to feel. Do you have something like this?
Thing is, when I was thinking about this podcast, there wasn't a lot as a kid that I was like very keen on doing that I have stopped doing now. Like I think when I was growing up, obviously I wanted to be a lot of different things, but I think that's normal for a kid growing up, and the ones that like, okay, so like for example, playing football. I've been playing that for as long as I can remember. I've only stopped playing for the couple of months recently because my team sucks. But that's not like a reason that I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna like pick it up again like whenever. What other things I used to do as a kid that I still do now? Like reading. There's like a little blip of me not reading anymore. But like I'm back on that path. Never was a fan of art. Music, like I think I stopped playing music at the right time because I don't have the urge. Like it's not a strong urge to like want to pick back up the piano or the violin. I mean, I started learning guitar over the winter break, but then I was like, yeah, no, it's just not for me. I guess I'm in that space where like I kind of know what I'd like to do and what I wouldn't, and it doesn't bother me as much at the things that I used to enjoy doing as a kid. I don't necessarily find joy in doing now. I think a lot of the time in my childhood was spent not really exploring new hobbies, more like just doing a lot of different stuff just for the sake of doing it. Like I was in the choir, I was in the play, um, I did like a whole bunch of extracurriculars, but they were all like either for a year or 2 years, just like kind of figure out what I like and what I don't like. And I think some of that is echoed in how I approached uni from the start till now. Like I kind of just dip my fingers in a bunch of different stuff, and whatever sticks sticks. Whatever doesn't, like I kind of absolve myself of the blame for not sticking with it. Like it's just not something that I enjoy. So I'm not gonna make myself do it. Just very different from the way you see it.
Oh, great. Oh, great. I guess I am talking more in this episode. Great. I forgot how whole and complete of a human you are.
I'm not whole and
I'll sit
complete.
in my
Maybe I'm just
therapy
not.
position on your couch and you can be there in your desk chair sibling and ask me questions. And I'll spiral again. I'm ready.
But I think there are different aspects of childhood where I might have more to say than you. So it will be like a mutual,
Sure, you don't have to comfort me just because I know the truth. It's
it'll be
okay.
more of a mutual thing.
Well,
So
maybe I'll figure something out by the end of this episode. And that is what's most important to me. Okay, well, I am the complete opposite of you. Um, Growing up, I was always the creative one. It's the one thing that came to me a little more instinctively than other things in life. So my brother had a talent for sport, and he picked up sports very quickly, and I sort of had that with music and art. Which I mean, looking back now, it's sort of the thing you want to capitalize on because not only did I have some sort of instinct, I really really enjoyed it. I loved it. So ever since I was like 3 or something, I would just take whatever was in the house. We didn't have much. It was pretty much just office supplies because my mom worked in an office. I'd take like just paper and glue and staples, and I'd build a little 3D swing set. If you like fold the paper a little bit and you glue it to the base, then it'll stick up and all these things. Um, and I did that so much. And then from like 5 or something, I started piano. I don't. Oh no, it was a little bit earlier actually. It was like 3. So my mom did that thing where my brother and I always did the same things, but it was very clear that one person was a lot better than the other person at it. But you still keep doing that until I think we eventually parted ways around 13, maybe. Which is actually a really really long time. Mm. So my mom wanted my brother to learn piano, and she just let me tag along, I guess. And then it was very clear that I was a lot better and I really enjoyed it. So she enrolled me in like lessons at school. And I guess my teacher saw something special or something. And I just started playing ever since. Then I started violin when I was 9. And then these were sort of the instruments that have always been with me up until I had a whole school transition mess when I was in grade 9, so 15.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and unfortunately, all of these things had not ended nicely. It didn't come to like a natural conclusion. It was more, I was at my peak. I was like one grade away from the one that everyone finishes, before they go to uni or something. And I was also a little bit like ahead of the curve and all these things. And I just stopped. And there wasn't much opportunity to pick it back up again. And I've sort of just let that just go, I guess, in the recent years, because of like the focuses on other things. And that's incredibly scary to think about. I kind of hate that because it was always just a fun outlet. It was always cathartic. It was always, you know, it's really really fun just being able to like pick up something and just play and do cool things and I don't know, having really great teachers. So there's that. And then with art, I'm very bad at drawing, but I really liked making things with my hands, and that was sort of not an option for a very long time. And then got to do that for a tiny bit again before this whole school mess, and then it just stopped. Till now. And my friend asked me, like, with the whole crisis, they were like, what would you do if you were paid to anything you wanted? What would you do if I don't know, money was no object, or all these things? And none of my answers align with
what you're doing now.
Yeah.
So you think you're not chasing your dreams, your childhood dreams, is what it is, or is this something more different from that?
Well, I think now it's more that I'd probably feel more complete as a person, like more like myself if I still just had elements of these things
Right.
in my life, because as it stands, it's entirely non-existent.
I guess, but when you were younger, did you think or want to like do the music like as a full time thing? Like you want to grow up and be a musician, or you want to grow up and be like an artist or architect? I don't know what exactly would describe making things with your hands.
Well, I guess I thought a lot about the music, and the sort of running gag was that I'd always have that as my outlet when I came home, and as a side hobby, I could teach piano to other people. I could teach violin, and I knew that it wasn't sort of what I wanted as the main thing in my life. Just because I guess I never thought of it as super like completely worthwhile. Also, I knew I wasn't like that talented. I'm not like Lang Lang or like Yu Zhou Wang or something. Like nowhere near that.
But it was something that you enjoyed and
that
that
was
you
the
were good
vision.
at.
Yeah.
But did you enjoy it because you were good at it, or
No,
you were good at it and you enjoyed it?
Definitely the latter. I just really, really I loved it. I can't even describe it now because I'm so out of touch with it. I didn't even remember what that's like. And that's sort of like, even with silly things like tennis, it's something that I had spent many years doing with the muscle memory, and it was just fun today. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And I think I just feel a lot better for that. I was that kid that did everything, like every extramural under the sun. And I liked being that busy and doing this many things.
I think you've definitely still kept that liking to keep yourself busy thing. A lot of times you tell me your plans, I'm like, why are you even doing this? Like,
yeah.
but yeah, so I guess it's just more of like you're still busy, but like busy with things that your child self wouldn't have imagined, or like think that you rather not be busy with.
Yeah, I think I've started prioritizing the wrong things. Do you know what my roommate said to me the other day?
What?
She wanted me to reflect on 3 things in the spring break week that we're currently on. And I mean, I asked her to be like direct, right? And this wasn't even like the main focus of what she was saying, but oh my god, the words she said. A lot of my current traits that I have are just borrowed from other people, which is entirely true because I sort of I like doing the things that people who I admire do, and unfortunately, that's sort of everything now. So, yeah, big panic. Yeah. And then there's like the whole.
So you think you don't have a
adult side.
personality?
Definitely not. Not at this point. And then there's this whole side of it that's like, oh, you know, I want to work hard. I want to be successful. I want to like be an adult, and I want to be healthy. So I'm never gonna pick. I don't know. I'm not gonna make a little paper mache sculpture of a church over going to the gym. You know, something like that. But now I can see like, oh, with tennis, maybe I can like find a balance and all these things. But I don't know. Just
I think you're thinking a bit too literal of like either or. Yeah. I think that's been like a recurring theme for you.
Wait till you hear the ADHD episode.
Or nothing type of mentality. I understand that's very difficult to live with, but there's definitely ways because one of our lecturers is like what in his 40s. Not to be rude, I don't know how old he is, and he still finds time to play with Legos. You know, like I feel like it's definitely gonna be like a thing you're gonna have to like work on and find time and start like being able to say no to certain plans or like kind of drawing that boundary around where you want to be able to have your free time to keep doing the things that you once found joy in, like making a paper mache.
Caleb, he's like in his early 30s.
I don't know, but he has a wife and a kid and stuff, and he's very.
And you should know him better. I can guarantee he's under 35. Anyways,
but yeah, but do you think? Do you know why you stopped, or you think it's just one of those things that kind of just dropped off and never got picked back up, type of thing, or was there like a internal reason why you stopped playing?
I think for a long time I was scared because, I mean, I sort of lied when I did the tennis thing. I played it once, maybe about a year and a half after I stopped, and it was a very casual setting. And I remember every shot that I hit, I remember the muscle memory so vividly. I remembered everything I had to do, but the ball would just not go where, like it would just not do what it was supposed to do, and it was such a painful like feeling, and that was just tennis. Like the things that I was even better at was violin and piano, and I know with violin, you eventually lose the ear for it. And things like that. And yeah, I mean, same thing with violin. There was a time when I was really out of it for about, again, a year and a half. And I thought my friend and I signed up to do a silly little duet for an eisteddfod competition. And I had to, oh God, in the performance, I had to stop because I was ruining her singing because I was a little bit like out of tune. And for those, I always got like the highest or the second highest award for those things. I got like the worst one there. And oh my God. And I think, well, for that period, definitely it was like, oh, I can't face this. I knew this was my reality. And then all these other things probably just started factoring in. Like, I mean, that time it was the pandemic, and I was like waiting for uni and choosing uni and all these things. And I guess I started like valuing it a little less because I always wanted to do something, I don't know, cool. I liked coding back then. And now I feel like I'm just doing it because other people are doing it. Might as well get good. and it just never resurfaced for me.
So you lost the joy when you weren't as good anymore.
Yeah, I got scared to confront it.
Mm.
And I knew, I guess I really thought that the only option then was to get back to exactly where I left off, you know, in the thick of it, with like my top teachers teaching me, and now like having it like an hour a week per instrument and all these things. I don't know, I couldn't even tell you.
I think a lot of times we like the things that were good. That's why I asked you at the beginning. Because it could also be both, but also could be like, especially like, obviously I don't know the full story, but like if I had an older sibling that was better than me at a lot of things, and I finally found something that I was good at, I feel like I'm gonna kind of hold on to that a lot more dearly than the other things. And so like once you kind of have that realization that you're not as good as you once were, like it's very like, I guess, fight or flight in a sense. I remember when I first got here, like obviously like you go to uni, like this is me speaking in like football wise. The first people that I played with, one of them was playing in an academy for like a Bundesliga team in Germany before he came to uni. Another one had been in the under something team, under 17s, under something team for a team that had played in the Champions League, and he had like a debut performance there. Everyone else was kind of okay. So like I was kind of the third best there, but obviously that third being like a lot lower than where everyone else was. I was kind of comfortable in that position, but then we didn't play as often that as I'd have liked to, and so I kind of like I first joined like the league that I'm in now, for like a game, and I just realized like everyone there was like insanely good. I was like, fuck, like I'm not gonna come back, and so I didn't go back, for the whole of my first year. But then kind of that thing in me of like I didn't really want to like stop playing football. So if it's like having to like acclimatize to like a higher level of playing and like being vulnerable enough to like know that you like I might not be like one of the better players there, and I'm just gonna like have to kind of find my level, like work from there. There's something I'm gonna have to do. Like for a while, like I wasn't gonna do it until like I kind of just get to the point where like you have no hobbies, like there's nothing that you really enjoy, and so you kind of force yourself to just okay, like I'm really just gonna have to like go for it and see what happens. And I guess that's maybe could be the same case for you with where like you got scared because you sucked after a while, but obviously that's not entirely your fault. You stopped playing, so that was to be expected. Um, I guess you have to find the joy in doing it for doing it instead of doing it because you were good at it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So funny because we had that hobbies conversation, remember?
The what conversation?
Hobbies.
Uh-huh.
And this didn't even come up
Yeah, no.
at all. How curious.
You think that was like a mental block for you, like not thinking about like the things that you used to have as hobbies when you were younger? Why do you think it came up now? I guess that is more of like a fruitful question.
What was that question of what would you be doing if,
Mm.
I don't know, your time and money, basically? My answer is not like working for
Mm-hmm.
Google, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm.
And then also, remember I told you I had this whole revelation a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, where it's like, oh, I found my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the idea of like, you know, being in a situation where you just rely on like your skills to carry you forward to get over something, and it's just fun. It's just
Mm-hmm.
fun to be good at something, but also having something that you enjoy and you
Mm-hmm.
like. But anyways, yeah, might get a piano again for summer. I did that once though. I don't know if you remember when I stayed in Sloterdijk.
How did that
I
go?
had a keyboard.
How was that?
It was
Did you
okay.
play as often as you thought you were going to?
Definitely not.
Mm.
I did learn some more of like a song. I think I was trying to do. I can't remember. Oh, I did like the Entertainer or something for a while. Um, I don't know. And I've still kept a musical instrument with me, like always. Like now I've got my ukulele and
right.
a harmonica. What?
I said ukulele.
Yeah. Um, there.
But so what makes you think? Why did you? What happened with the piano the last time?
Just living there was a big mess.
Mm.
But I did try play when I could, and I was happy when I could do something out of it. My dream has always to be able to like, there's a piano in the bar or something, just to walk up and play something, or have someone have a request and play something, or hear something by ear, and because I, with some time and effort, I could get that. And now with the like building things and making things, I realized that volunteering at the Bike Kitchen has brought some of that back. Like it's really fun, like solving those problems, just doing something with your hands, like getting messy, and there's that. But then that's a little bit of a borrowed thing.
No, but okay, I'm so happy that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because I think everything is gonna be borrowed from your surroundings. Like the only reason I wanted to play piano was I think because I watched a movie where like a guy was playing piano. I think it was no, piano wasn't that. It was violin. Because the Sherlock movie, Sherlock played the violin, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn violin. And then the first thing I wanted to learn was the Sherlock theme, but I was nowhere near good enough to play that. I think everyone has parts, if not a lot of their personality, borrowed from like their surroundings. That's definitely like a normal thing. You can't feel bad because like you found out something that someone did that you like ended up being something that you enjoy as well. If you enjoy it, you're not like borrowing their thing. Like you just happen to find it enjoyable as well. So if you like to volunteer at the back kitchen, you shouldn't attribute it to like, oh, this is someone else's thing and that's not your own thing. It became your thing because you ended up enjoying it. If you were doing it just because it was someone else's thing and you didn't enjoy it, then okay, there's a problem. But if you enjoy doing it and it's activating parts of your being that you enjoy.
Well, I thought you were gonna say amygdala. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, well, I didn't have that word at the tip of my tongue. But I guess, yeah, if we want to get more scientific, parts of your amygdala that you find joy in, then I think it's your personality too. It doesn't have to be borrowed from someone else. I don't agree with your roommate on that part.
But the thing is, I also it's only now that I realize, oh, I'm enjoying the bike engine for myself. Everything else, I just don't know if I'm doing it because I like it or I'm doing it because other people like it. And I don't know. I'm very able of like liking things that other people like. It's not that. It's not like that for me.
If we make a whole list, then it's like, okay, the type of music I like, keep it will probably could be attributed to like the things I watch or people that I know. It's like there's a certain type of music that I never liked ever, like that Playboy Cardi type of music. And then I started watching the streamer, and he liked that type of music. And now, like, I find myself listening to that type of music in the gym, and I actually enjoy it. At first, okay, maybe I was trying to like it to like fit in, and then I guess maybe the lines are blurred. But then I actually started liking it, like enjoying it, where I'd listen to songs that I didn't hear from like watching that person on YouTube, but like just songs that I found on my own and like I actually enjoy it. And I have a whole playlist of that type of music that I play whenever I go to the gym. Like you can like learn things from other people's personalities, but then you kind of like adapt it to your own in ways that you may not even like notice that you're doing. Like I'm sure you're not doing the exact same thing that you found. Why are you looking at me like that? You're not doing like the exact same thing the exact same way that you had initially like learned from another person, right?
Pretty much the exact same thing, exact same way.
I think if you really think about it, Like, give an example. Let's do an exercise. Like, what's one thing that you think you borrowed? That's a borrowed personality from someone else.
So much. So much. I also just think that I'm not capable of outwardly saying that I don't like something or I don't want to do something
Mm-hmm.
because the norm or the way I'd like to be thought of is someone that enjoys and will just do these things. It's the silliest thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like yesterday, the weather was great. I did not want to go outside, sit in the park. I just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be the person that doesn't go out to the park and enjoy the sun on a good day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I will never say to another human being, other than everyone else who listens to this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
that yeah, sure, sun may be out, day may be beautiful. I might have a better time if I go outside. I just don't want to.
Mm-hmm. You never say that.
Yeah, not never, but at least now. No.
Why do you think that is?
I work more towards the person I want to be thought of by others
Mm-hmm.
than working on trying to figure out what I actually like and don't like. But also, I don't like having a fixed. I don't like this. I like this because it's so susceptible to change.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe one day I'll wake up and suddenly it'll be different because that's the way things have gone.
Mm-hmm.
One day I woke up and I like pickles. Who am I to rule it out?
Mm. I also think because I'm also the same way, and like I think I act on, I guess for the most part, on how I would want others to perceive me. Like from like when I was a kid, also I guess back to the childhood thing. Like I was like, oh, I want to be smart. I want to be smart. I want to be smart. Like to the point where like I begged my parents to get me glasses because I thought that would make me look smarter. And so in fifth grade, I wore glasses to school for like 2 days, and then I got like low key clowned on for wearing glasses because they were little round glasses. I broke the glasses and I never wore glasses again. But that kind of part of me that wanted to be like seen as smart by people like carried on for a very long time in my childhood to where like in middle school I'd always hang out with people in the grade above me and they were like the smartest people ever. And they would be my friends because like, oh maybe some of that would rub off on me.
It's what erratic behavior.
Sorry, we just saw someone
Did it go to like a web or something? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, and I guess like eventually something happened where like you like try hard enough to be like what you want other people to think of you. Like you kind of become that without knowing. So I'm sure a lot of people think of you as like that outgoing. People in your friend group think of you as that like outgoing or always wanting to do stuff. That's how I think of you. Like I don't think of you as the person that would stay in on a sunny day because you always like, oh, it's a sunny day, let's go outside. And I think for most days out of the week, you're probably like that. But I guess it's just the thing of like knowing which days we're like saying fuck it or oh, I can't swear.
And say that, and she's sorry.
um, actually gonna end this part out.
No. Anyway.
And what was I saying? Yeah, I guess yeah. Between that and like picking the days where you're like, you know what, I don't care.
Also, shouldn't matter, right? What other people think of you.
It shouldn't matter, but it does. And so like it's up to you how hard you want to think about whether or not it matters. Because at the end of whether or not it shouldn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it does to most human beings, if not every human being ever.
Do you feel like you've lived up to your childhood definitions of success and dreams and all these things? Obviously, excluding the things that have changed. Like, you know, if you wanted to be an astronaut and now you did it.
I was asked this question recently, actually.
Yeah?
So random. well, not in the exact like wording.
Mm.
It was, I think it was like, um, if you had a conversation with like a 10-year-old self, like how would that conversation go? Like, would they be proud or whatnot? So like something similar.
Mm-hmm.
My answer is I don't know. I don't think like, I think when I was young, my kind of idea of grown up me was like either like a little less grown or a little more grown than I am now. Because it was either like, oh, thinking of like, in high school,
Mm.
gonna have a girlfriend, whatnot, or like, when I'm old, then I have like a family and a house and whatnot. So it's never really. This is for me. It's a very gray area where
Mm.
you never think of like, oh, how's life gonna be in uni? At least I didn't think
Yeah, me.
that far. So it's hard to say if the childhood version of me would be happy with the person I am today. I think in terms of like how people think of me mostly, I think so, yeah. Like he would have wanted people to think of me the way I think people think of me now, or at least the personality that I put on. Um, a lot of things different. Just because again, like it was more so like borrowed personality, especially from TV shows. So, and of course, I'm not like the TV show characters that I used to watch when I was younger. So yeah,
Like who?
there's a lot throughout the years.
Name them.
Um,
Name as many as you can.
Dexter from Dexter's like Jimmy Neutron, Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, and for like a very brief period, what's his name? The blonde guy from How I Met Your
Bonnie.
Huh?
Bonnie.
Barney. Um,
Oh, good grief.
who else? I'm trying to remember all of the people. Just I don't remember. But a lot of Disney Channel, Disney XD, Jack from Kicking It. Obviously, who didn't want to be Jack from Kicking It?
Is that Michael? What's his name? Musso.
No, the karate guy.
Um, didn't really watch that show.
Yeah. So like a lot of characters that obviously not like their entire personality, but parts of their personality that I wanted to embody. Like I started Taekwondo class because I watched Kicking It, or like I watched Kung Fu Panda, like stuff like that. Where like obviously I'm not like that, but like still in a certain way. Like I'm still active athletically. Like I still play football. I think that I up until like a month or two ago, I still played football every Sunday. I think the gym is something that's new, but along the same path. Coding, I think, has been there for the longest time, and it was only because my dad had introduced me to it. But then I realized that was like what you would classify as like violin and piano and stuff as your main hobbies. I think that was mine from in my like adolescent years. Where like when I was younger, yeah, football was the hobby and like whatnot, but my dad would never like send me to a summer camp for football. So it was never like a thing where like I got serious at. But with coding, he was so um what's it called? So pushy on that because his math meant it's just such a long story. But so when he went to university first, I think he was studying accounting. Apparently he sucked at math, and his teacher like and all the tutors that his dad would get him like couldn't really help him at all until he met this guy who teaches at like a university, not the university that he went to, um but then he hired him as a tutor, and all of a sudden like it clicked and he was a really good mentor to him. And he used to teach like very very old school like rudimentary coding stuff because at the time that was what was there. And so he had told him, because I mean, once you have like that mentor mentee relationship, everything they say is gonna like be gospel to you. And so he had told him about this coding thing, and then all of a sudden, that had to be my path for growing up, and I was kind of fine with it because it wasn't something that I hated. Like I enjoyed it because at the time, like all these online boot camps were like popping. So think about like 2016, 15, 17, 18 era of like Code Academy and Free Code Camp. And so like I started doing that during the summers, and it was fun for a bit because oh like I'm making a nice little game, and then like that kind of changed. Thing is, I never stuck with a language, so that I do a bit of Python, then I do a bit of JavaScript, and then I wanted to learn to make a game in Unity. But I remember very like vividly, I had made two games on my own from scratch. It was Pong with JavaScript and then Hangman. And I showed it to my mom. She's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And so that kind of stuck with me. Like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna do this as like a hobby, like a thing." So in my free time, it kind of switched from either reading or like playing football outside or whatnot. And I just do a bunch of coding courses. It never really stuck because like I'm like 14, maybe I think youngest 10, oldest I'd say 14, 15. Trying to understand things that are obviously meant for like university people. So like it was a lot of like writing what they're saying and kind of like tweaking that and seeing what works and what not works, what doesn't work without really knowing the inner mechanisms. That kind of became my thing. And so the fact that I still do it now, I think, and to a level that obviously 11-year-old me would be amazed at, I think, definitely in that sense. That's a very long story. What about you?
What do you? What about me?
What was the question again? Yeah, that the
10
question. I'm
years,
just asking
10-year-old
like the
self.
question that you asked me. And think very holistically. Don't think specifically about like the violin aspect or like the arts and crafts.
Well, I'm here because I always wanted to try find a way to do both art and coding.
Mm-hmm.
And then when this course popped up, it seemed like the solution. I mean, besides the little stint for the art school. And then if I think of it now, it's probably not the best
Mm-hmm.
intersection of the two. I don't necessarily think that mm, the things I'm good at or the things I like can be intertwined in the way that it is now, at least in the program we're studying. But yeah, I mean, I didn't have any expectations as a 10-year-old. Uh, and then even then, I took a lot of hobbies from my brother. He liked coding. I thought he'd go into it. Nope, I don't know when he started liking economics.
Mm-hmm.
I was very different. Um, and I don't know. It's not that simple, is it?
Yeah,
I
it's
can't believe
very
you coded for so long, and
tough
I
question.
didn't even realize it was imposed on you.
Mm-hmm. Um, I guess that way it was kind of easier. So then I didn't have to figure it out on my own. Kind of, it was just like, here you go. Because also, I was gonna talk about this in this episode. And I don't know how touchy of a subject it is, but so growing up, um, my dad and my mom also they never really like set expectations of like, oh, you should do this. Like this should be like what you aim for and whatnot. It was kind of a do your best, or like, but then they'd pray for you, right? And so like you'd have close your eyes, whatever, and pray, and then they'd pray to God what they wanted the outcome to be. Obviously, as a kid, you're gonna hear that and think, "Oh, this is what you want me to do." Because if you're praying to God for that to happen, that's what you want me to do. So, in thinking about it for this episode, I kind of realized then, oh, that's probably why like a lot of the things that I aim to do are so because like growing up, sure, like they're not the strictest, but like if you're praying for your son to do ABC, your son who's listening to the prayer that you're praying about is gonna say, "Oh, so you want me to do ABC?" You can say oh, that it doesn't matter, or just try your best and that's all that matters, so and so. Like if you're praying for a specific outcome, that's what you want, right? And so that was kind of the story for me growing up. Obviously, like in the moment, I didn't know it, but in hindsight, it's very clear that that was exactly what was going on, right? So in like going for exams, like doing this, going for that, doing these things and whatnot, you know exactly what your parents want from you because they're praying for that specific thing. And so that was kind of where the, I guess, push came from to do these things. Also, it's not only that your parents want you to do it. Then if you're like brought up religious, then you're thinking, okay, this is like God's will or God's way. So you're extra more kind of convinced that this is the path that you need to take because you're praying to God for it. Then it must be important, and God will do His thing and whatnot. And so like it wasn't much of me exploring, um, as it was kind of realizing that that was what my parents wanted me to do anyways. But the thing is, I guess I never like pushed back or like hated the things that I did because like God, you know? Mm. And obviously that's like a blessing and a curse in the sense that I had a lot of an easier time um like trying out stuff and whatnot, but also like curse because then like for a time it was like, okay, what do I really like, what is really me and what is really like my parents' idea of me type of thing. I think I've gotten better at that over the past year, I'd say, of like just doing stuff on my own without telling my parents that I'm doing this or like consulting them for it and kind of like figuring it out on my own for better or for worse, what I kind of like or not. But obviously, like the fundamental stuff has stayed. So like coding or like wanting to be the best at certain things or things like that. That has kind of stayed because it's been like ingrained throughout my growing up. But yeah, I was gonna bring that up at one point. Yeah.
How would you hear the prayers?
No, they would like okay, so we pray out loud.
Yeah, but
Uh
what, they pray in their room
they
and you
pray no, they pray with me.
oh,
Yeah. Like even I'm trying to think what the most recent
just
time
like
was.
a just like a every evening sort of
Not every evening, but like either like once we started traveling, we wouldn't go to actual church. We just have like a little Sunday service at home. So then we'd all pray out loud, like in the living room for like 15, 30 minutes. And so then you would hear like what they're praying for. But even, um, I'm trying to think what, because we recently had one. I'm trying to think what it was.
online.
Yeah, I'd call my dad and like he said, call me in the morning before you go to so and so I can pray for you. But I can't remember what it was. But the thing is, it's something that still happens. But obviously, like I'm a lot more in tune with it, so it's easier to like figure out what to do with regards to that. But yeah, like with me getting into university, when he had prayed for me, he didn't like pray to get into a good school. Obviously, like what the fuck. So sorry. Yeah, someone's calling me. What was I saying?
Praying, you didn't pray for a good uni.
Right, he had prayed like to get like funding for whichever university that I went to. So then I knew going into telling him that I got into Oxford that he wasn't really gonna like care much of the name of the school that I went to. It was gonna be whether or not I had gotten money to go there or not. And so when I told him, fully expecting the outcome, it was very predictable what his reaction was. It's like, "Oh, did you get any money?" I was like, "No, I didn't know yet." It's like, "Oh, okay, congratulations," and then that was it. But like things like that. So that's kind of how my brain has been wired growing up to now, as best as I can describe to myself what had happened.
By the way, I think this is the first time you've mentioned that you got into Oxford on this podcast.
Well, like it depends if we release the Oxford episode before this one.
I doubt it. Hmm.
But did you have anything like that, like with parents'
Oh no, wait.
expectations?
Well, just now my follow-up question would have been, so where do you think the imposter syndrome comes from? But I guess this covers some of it. Hmm. Do you know when you got into Oxford, I was also thinking you were pretty hard on yourself about like the university you got into for like your bachelor's compared to
Oh
what you
yeah,
wanted,
that
but
also
then
yeah.
I guess it's sort of come full circle that
Mm-hmm.
you're ending up where you wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least you've proved that to yourself.
Yeah, I think it was more of a proving thing.
Mm.
I feel like in first year, I was very much of the mindset that I'm like on the wrong path. I didn't hear.
I heard the mic didn't hear. Go on.
That I'm on the wrong path. Or like I fell off of the path,
Mm.
and I gotta figure out a way to get back on the path because this was not what was supposed to happen and whatnot. Obviously, all based on what I had been told or like been taught to expect of myself or want for myself growing up. But then in second year, like I kind of realized it's also very dumb and like self what's the word I'm looking for? Deprecating. Like it was just a very dumb way of thinking about things. And so I became more of the mentality of like everything happens for a reason, but also like obviously you're the one in control and make the most of the surroundings and stuff like that. So I think in second year I was a lot more explorative with everything in general compared to first year. And obviously that must have helped in some way. Um but yeah, I feel like we're definitely still in the area of like figuring out. So it's hard to say like if you're living up to the expectations of a younger version of yourself. I think you coming to this realization that you feel the urge to like pick back up the things that you used to do as a kid. This is still you on that path to like the wherever the end is or the horizon goal that you had envisioned when you were younger. And I feel like once you get there, this is gonna be like part of the younger me thinking of the future rather than now being like a waypoint or like a landmark in that journey from when you were younger. This is very much just like the middle part of the book where nobody really like remembers, you know? But it's important, but just nobody really remembers because the decision you make is what's gonna eventually like add together to the end. Like this book I was reading. Sorry, I'm like going on a tangent. I thought it was bad at first, or like I didn't want to read it. I already bought it, but I didn't want to read it. But I'm reading it now, and it actually makes sense. Like it's like a good book. Obviously, not on the same level as the book that I had recommended before. So I'm not gonna recommend you to read this because there's a lot of fluff in between. But it's a good book. And one of the quotes that it had said, well, it's not like original to the book, but like a drunk man. If you tell a drunk man to walk in a straight line with like some randomness of like going left and right, he's gonna end up root of n to like the origin where he started. So basically, like it's gonna be random steps where like he's not gonna go far. But if you tell him to walk towards like a hot lady, it's gonna be a lot further away from the origin. And kind of what they want you to take away from it is like if you just have like a blurry vision of what it is that you're working towards, like later down the line, like obviously the steps, like you're not gonna know the direct steps, but like in a given amount of time, you'll be further from where you started and hence closer to where you're going than if you're just going blindly. And I don't think you're going blindly. It may seem like you're taking that like day by day, but knowing you, the way that I know you, also you know yourself the best. I feel like you definitely do have like some sort of vision. It doesn't have to be the most vivid or the most HD. 144p works, you know. Just some sort of idea of like whatever it is. You take the right steps. I think this is one of the steps, like being able to reflect and realize, okay, I might want to pick this back up to help you along the way. I think it's definitely gonna take you there eventually.
How the heck did you figure all this out?
Well, I guess it's not. It's also a lot easier said than done. That goes without saying. But you kind of like pick things up as you go. It's a lot harder when you're in the eye of the storm. I should make. I should just have a bank, like a index of sayings and.
Do you want a website like the one at
Yeah, because I've talked to people, and this is no disrespect to the people that I've talked to, but I've talked to people, and it's very clear that they have a very rudimentary idea of like what their future will look like. People that I've talked to presently and like when I was younger. And it's always so like the ones that I remember being that way are always so like just run of the mill, like nothing special. If we're talking personality wise, then it's really nothing special. Like nothing really to like work towards. And so it's a lot easier for people of that type to be a lot more comfortable with just like taking it day by day, and the fact that you made it through the day is enough for you. But the fact that that's not enough for you means that somewhere in your head there is like that vision of something more that you're working towards, and so your uncomfortability is like, I guess, part of that driving force that helps you, I think, as counterintuitive as it may seem, like to like get better.
I'm still not over this whole your origin story of coding and yeah.
What was your origin story?
I learned it in school. And just came one of the classes. Seemed fun, did some gooey stuff.
Gooey.
GUIs
Yeah,
and hubbies.
no,
I was like, oh, this is fun.
Did you do it for? Did you take IGCSEs?
No,
Oh,
South African school system.
oh, okay. But I guess the easy next question would be: if you don't think this is where you would be, then where would you be? Like, what would have been the dream version?
Probably on this trajectory, having this realization now, making some changes and going forth and keeping it up.
So you're where you should be. That's what you're saying.
Hopefully.
That's the other thing. I feel like you wouldn't know until later.
You enjoy coding. You enjoy everything you've been doing.
We're talking about the program or
No, like everything, like your projects, the program, the extra stuff.
Very much so.
Is there anything that you're doing that has felt like it's been like the hard part, but you're working towards a goal?
As in like a
Like the hard part of the discipline. I think you've experienced that in a while. I mean, you also did say like this is the year you reap the rewards.
Basically, yeah. I think a lot of the hard part was like getting like started and like setting everything up. I didn't used to do projects until like again in my second year. And at the beginning, like I didn't know what to do or I didn't want to do it. Like nothing really seemed like motivating because I was like kind of forcing the idea of a project. So a lot of the projects that I did back then, like it was kind of like wanting to get it over with. But now like it's a lot more like I'm looking forward to doing something. Like yesterday, I was like brainstorming all the things that I could do, and I was actually excited. And that kind of realization for me of like, okay, it's no longer something that I think that I need to do for like this end goal. It's something now that it's nice that it helps with the end goal. Like that's more of a byproduct, and then the main thing being like the enjoyment that I get from it. Because what else would I do? You know.
Mm.
So definitely, like at the beginning, if you had asked me this like a year ago, I'd have so many things to tell you that were the hard part, like going to the gym this many times a week, or like dragging myself to football every Sunday, like finding the motivation to work on a project, or like writing down like my reflections on things that happen during the day, or like during a great moment, is what I section them as in my journal. But yeah, I think after a while, like if it's something that you really want to do, like once you get past that initial step of like forcing the motivation a little bit, like it becomes like a lot more of a smooth sailing. Obviously, there's still times where like fuck me, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna edit that part out.
You're not. Just
um,
it's authentic.
but it's a lot more like it goes down. Maybe not as fast as you would want, but it starts to go down. I think the thing is just staying consistent. Because I think for you, you're a very all or nothing type of person, and so once you like do the all for so long, like the burnout is inevitable, and then it ends up going to nothing for a period, and then you're like wanting straight back to get to the all, and then that kind of thing. It's very cyclical, but I feel like you obviously will learn something throughout all the alls or nothings to a point where like you realize, okay, maybe this is also an ADHD thing. We probably have to talk about that on that episode. But then you might be able to get to a level where like you're going more with the tide than fighting against it in a way.
I'll add
That's what
that
I
to your
think.
book, your list. You should publish it. I think a lot of people can learn a lot from you,
It's very flattering. Thank you.
but God knows where you got all this from.
I don't know either.
No, I'm saying God knows.
Oh, he does. I'm sure he does.
Okay. Final thoughts, remarks.
You don't want to say anything. What's your most vivid childhood memory? Or your earliest and most vivid.
Earliest,
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first steps.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, I've done research into it, and it's like no one can remember anything at that
Mm-hmm.
age. Da, da, da. But I'm convinced that I
Mm-hmm.
remember. I remember what I was wearing, what my mom looked like, crafts there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize what I was doing was impressed. Like she was super happy because she was just like becking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you? That's earliest.
My earliest, we were living in this like semi-detached shared house in Ghana, and I was wearing. I don't know. See, this is the thing. I don't know if it's my earliest memory because there's a photo of it, or because I actually remember it. Because then, okay, I'm gonna change my
Yeah, same
mind.
thing.
It was because it was one where I think it was in kindergarten, and it was two things. First, we were like fetching water into bottles, plastic bottles, and one where I was telling a story to my friends in like show and tell time, I guess. Whatever you do in kindergarten. Those are my two earliest memories. And I think they happen on the same day. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's my earliest. What's your most vivid?
So many. Well, most of my memories, if I remember them, I remember them extremely vividly. Otherwise, I
Um.
just don't remember them at all.
Oh, okay.
Like what I was wearing, what everyone looked like, but the exact things that happened.
Don't got that. Don't got that at all. I think my most vivid. That's tough. Either. Well, this was an argument. It was like, I think in year 7 or year 8. But it was an argument between me and this girl in my grade. Her name is Nicole Choi. I don't know. It just there are a lot of Nicole Choi's, but
Yeah.
That's how much I remember. Like it was like at the end of the staircase. We were like planning. We were both in Stuco, middle school Stuco, and we were planning the middle school prom. Or I guess Key Stage 3. It was British system. Um, and she had made a design of it, and then I don't know. I had ended up saying like, "Oh, your design was only good because I gave feedback. It was shit before the feedback." And then she got so upset, she started crying, and she went to her older sister, who was in like year 11 at the time. And so year 7, year 11 is like a big person.
Yeah.
So I got really scared, and then I felt really bad because I only said that just because like she was low key just better than me at everything. Um, and so I remember because we had D Tech together, and we were at the same table in D Tech. And so after I had
Is
gone
that
to
design technology?
yeah,
Oh my god, we call it DNT.
oh,
Big up.
D Tech sounds better. um, and I had gone to her and apologized, but she never liked me ever since. But I guess now I just like just kid stuff. Like I was intimidated by her being better than me at stuff. I had a very nasty personality at the beginning of middle school, very egotistical and very much wanting to be the coolest at everything. Yeah.
You would have hated me. You would have despised me. I would have been on your every nerve if you met me as a child.
Yeah. You didn't like me either at the beginning. We met fully grown up. Not fully, but like,
Well, I was yours.
yeah.
Well, one memory I have is that in grade 1 we used to do a lot of not a lot, every couple months or so you take like A2 piece of cardboard, like color paper, something, you make a project. It happened actually quite rarely, and it was only for those first 2 years. And the first project of that year was to present a country, and everyone was assigned a country. And I was assigned Ghana, and that's the only reason I know Ghana exists. The only reason. So could not tell you about any other country, but I remember like, oh, I know that the flag is like red, yellow, green with a little star in the middle, and then there was some picture of a food and a little section about mosquitoes.
That's nice. I'm sure you killed it. The presentation about Ghana. Oh, that's
No,
oh, actually, also, you know what's funny? That being my most vivid memory, I think also a lot of the times that's like her personality is what I look for in women sometimes. In like that type of, I don't know how to explain it, but I guess that like goes hand in hand with why that's a very vivid memory of mine. Guess maybe that's when I realized I like girls. I don't know.
I wonder if it's more that you. I mean, I imagine it's not so much that like you're intimidated, but more of the fact that she was better than you at some things, and you, uh, I don't like admired that. I'm also assuming it's just nothing about how you felt. Like I don't think spite and disprivilege. I think something like that for me would be very fickle, because then I think it's so much more that I think that's the type of person I admire instead of the person that I'd like. And I
I
think
guess
I'd like
that,
me, but
yeah. She's better than me at everything. She was in set 1 math. I was in set 2 math. We're in the same art class. But her art portfolio was a lot better than mine. In D-Tech, like, she just made better shit than me. Um, Science, I was good at science. I think I was better than her at Science, maybe marginally. English. English was close, but it also wasn't fair because English wasn't her first language, and we were like neck and neck. So it's like it really sucked.
Did you like her?
Huh?
Did you like her?
Not at the time. No,
Uh,
she was not my middle school crush at all. Because my middle school crush was also someone who was like better than me at a lot of things. I think she was better than Nicole also at a lot
did
of
you
things.
actually like her, or was it more like an accomplishment that
What?
you? But did you date your middle school crush?
No,
Oh.
no. She left like I was there for a year. Like that was her last year. So then the second and third year, she wasn't there. But yeah, I liked her for that year. And she was a lot I guess she was a lot more like mellow, girly. I don't know. Like more chill.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole was very much like in your face, kinda. Or in my face. But also maybe because I was in her face. I don't know.
Maybe she liked you.
I don't think so.
So how come you can't take compliments?
I don't know. I guess I just never got any. Or that many.
So you can recognize when someone's better than you. You can recognize when you're better than someone.
Mm-hmm.
But at no point does any validation or I don't know, like recognition of your intelligence resonate with you.
No. I guess maybe that didn't come from my parents, so then I don't accept it from anyone else. I don't know. Parents very much thank God, but not like, good job, you know? So, yeah.
Do you know where Nicole is now?
No, I lost all my contacts when we moved out of China. Because WeChat, for some reason, you need like two people on WeChat to send you
Yeah.
a verification. Yeah, it's some dumb shit. So I don't know any of my friends from middle school's whereabouts, except one of them was engaged last year, so I'm assuming he's married now. He was like my closest friend there. Yeah. That's crazy. He's getting married. He's like he's maybe your age.
Great. I
Yeah,
feel
I think
like
he's
we
22. He's
like we
03.
missed the point a little bit of childhood.
We definitely did,
Yeah.
but
Should have a 2.0 and you can think of all your memories.
I guess. Do you know some of the things that you do that you could attribute to like parts of your childhood or like growing up? Like the way you're asking me about not being able to say compliments.
I can attribute a lot to the way my parents brought me up.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it's a very like a fine line between your parents sort of leading you one way to do something because you need someone to show you to do something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then at some point you take it as your own, like how the coding thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I guess maybe somewhere along the line you'll have a little bit of a crisis where you're like, oh, I wonder if I like this because my parents showed me or something, or if I just like it because I do. And you can, I don't know, decide that it's in the gray area. It's a little bit of both. But right now, nope, not really. My brain is out of thinking.
Mm. Okay, then we'll end it here.
Save for next time.
2.0.